Hi everyone, John Cottrell here of MBODY Yoga, and this is Soft Flow Yoga. Thanks for joining me. Now, this is a 10-minute yoga practice. That's right, 10 minutes, this will get you going. We're going to focus on a pose called Pigeon Pose. Pigeon Pose is a wonderful hip opener, so it will get into our outer legs, inner legs, and the front of the legs, getting into the hip flexor region. So we need a couple of props for this practice today. So you may need a big pillow or a yoga bolster if you have them, something that's firm and large, something that can support your body. And you may also want a blanket or a towel, something that's soft that can support you as well. That's all we need, so let's get started. Let's begin our practice in seated so we can get into breath. Little pranayama exercise. So pranayama is just breathing. Nice breathing yoga practice. Helps us with settling in, being more present, more connected. It's a wonderful way to meditate. So we'll take a soft, slow meditative moment. First, inhale, filling up your lungs. Feel this nice expansiveness in your chest. And exhale. Do that again. Nice full breath in and exhale. Now just continue with slow, steady breaths. This could be done with your eyes opened, or you can also do them with your eyes closed. Just settling into the feeling and the sound of your breath. You might even pay attention to the pace of your breath. As you inhale, you might count to yourself, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just creating what I call a balanced breath. Inhale, exhale, just counting to yourself. Wonderful ways to pay close attention to what's going on inside of you and letting go of what's going on outside of you. Good. Let's take 3 more breaths like this. Excellent. Now let's make a transition from our seated posture to hands and knees. This is where your blanket or something soft underneath you might come in handy. It could be a towel or even double up on your yoga mats. So just come to hands and knees, moving through a series called cat and cow. It's 2 poses that flow together. Inhale, just tip the chin up, look forward, create an arched back. The pelvis tips back. This is cow pose. Exhale, starting with the back end, tuck the pelvis under. Feel your belly button pull up towards your spine. Allow the spine to curve and round, chin to chest. This is cat pose. And then continue. Inhale, tip the pelvis back. Feel the belly drop. There's our arched back. Heart opens, look forward. Exhale, starting with the back end, tuck underneath. Belly button pulls up towards spine, chin to chest, rounded back. A few more times. Remember, pigeon pose is a nice hip opener. So just getting into this particular posture not only gets into our back body and our spine, we get into our hips too, since we're experiencing this rocking sensation through the pelvis. Finish the breath that you're on, and we'll take 2 more. And when you're complete, come to a neutral tabletop posture. Just hold for a breath or 2. And if you are using some padding, let's go ahead and crawl off the pad and set it to the side. Let's return to hands and knees and make our way to downward facing dog. Let's step the hands forward so your hands and wrists are out from underneath the shoulders. Spread out your fingers here so you have a nice strong foundation. And press firmly into the mat to flatten and open the palms, strong straight arms. Tuck your toes under, cat and cow again. Inhale, tip head up, arch the back. Exhale, round spine. Hold cat pose. Keep toes tucked. Lift the knees, send the hips into the air, chest and head sink between the arms. Pause for a moment if you need to. Make some adjustments with your feet, maybe even your hands on your mat to help settle into your pose. Hold for a moment. We're going to move quickly through some warrior postures just to warm up the legs. Step the left foot to center on the mat for balance. Pick up right foot, then inhale, extend right leg back behind you. Fully extended leg, exhale it, step right foot to the top of the mat or let it land behind the right wrist. Turn left heel to the floor. Be sure to shift that weight back into that foot. Extend the spine. We're going to inhale, rise up for warrior one. And exhale, opening to your left side to warrior two. You might need to make some adjustments. I like to turn my left foot out, which helps open through this left hip flexor. This is going to be great for our pigeon pose. Right knee and toes pointing forward, outstretched arms. Let's just hold for a couple breaths. You might even turn your head to face the right hand. Coming out of the pose, a little cartwheel or a big windmill effect. Let's take the left arm up and around and down to the floor. And slide the right foot back into plank pose. As you're able, finish the push-up, bending elbows, squeeze in towards ribs, and lower your way down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Settling in. Adjusting the feet and hands. And we'll do the other side. Let's step right foot to center. Pick up left foot, extend left leg straight back, inhale. And exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel to the earth behind you, shifting the weight back until you feel balanced. Inhale, rising up, first warrior. Exhale, opening to a warrior two. Again, this right foot's going to spin out to help open up through the right hip flexor. And we'll hold for about 3 breaths here in our warrior two. And again, I'm just taking my gaze out over the left hand. In a big windmill, out of the pose, right arm around and down to the floor in front, rising up onto the tiptoes behind, slide left foot back, plank pose. Let's bring knees to the floor. Sit back briefly. To hero, I'm going to bring in my bolster. I'm going to rise up in front of the bolster. Alrighty, now carefully, let's bring right foot around to the front side of the bolster. And the bolster is going to give us a little support. Now my right foot, of course, is on my right side. I'm going to send my right foot over to the left side of the mat. Reaching forward to catch myself on my fingertips out front here. I'm going to let this right knee come down to the edge of the mat. So I have a bent leg in front. I'm just sitting on the bolster, left leg behind. I'm just going to hold here for several breaths. Now you can stay up high on the hands or maybe crawl forward and come down a little lower. Now, this is our variation of pigeon pose, using the bolster to help open up the right hip. You're getting into the outer thigh, inner leg. This is also affecting the knee and ankle joints. The left leg, with some support from the bolster, nicely extended back, a little stretch for the hip flexor. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Now, of course, you can hold these postures much longer as it feels good to you. The bolster really does come in handy for this kind of practice because they're very firm, they're big cushions, and can really support you. I'm going to rise up to my hands. I'm going to stay seated on the bolster. I'm going to kind of shift my way over to the right side so I can swing this left leg around, and it just leaves me seated on my bolster here. I'm going to spin around, so I'm just facing the other side, so I can do the other side. So I'm just going to move my bolster forward and do the same thing with the left foot. So I'm just stepping my left foot over the top, send my left foot over to the right side, carefully lean forward, hands out front. This left knee is going to come down to the floor, just like we did on the first side, and adjust. So I'm trying to center myself so everything is facing forward. Now you can stay as high as you'd like or go down low. I'm gonna go down a little lower, maybe to the elbows. Now, if you can't quite reach the floor, you might wanna bring in maybe another pillow. I've got a block here which can help. So it just brings the floor a little bit closer to me so I can rise up. Again, now I'm feeling a nice stretch and release in the outer left thigh, the inner left thigh, right hip flexor nicely stretched and extended behind. Just gonna hold for about 3 more breaths. Again, you can hold these postures for a much longer period of time. Slowly rising back up, leaning over to the left side so I can do the same thing. I'm just going to swing this right leg around. I'm just going to turn to face you. I'm just seated on my bolster here. So with crossed legs, we can come to the end of our practice. Just be sure you're sitting up nice and tall, nice lengthened spine, nice relaxed shoulders. Take a breath. Thanks for joining me in this practice. Pigeon pose, a nice opening for the hips and hip flexors. One more movement together. Inhale, extend your arms out and up. As you exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart and take one more full and complete breath. Breathing in. Exhale. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.